some people would fear that the technology and the artificial intelligence takes over, in the sense that if you have put this into the market system and the trading system, something happening may trigger off an event or development which actually is not what you expect and it's not what you wanted, and it's very difficult to step in and stop it because technology takes over as a driver and controller instead of the human factor.
Well, back in 2010, with a couple of colleagues at Singapore Management University, we actually published a paper that looked at how the flash crash that I believe that happened sometime during 2010, in May or something like that, was contributed by what they call program trading, meaning that it's automatically saying it trades, and because everyone doing the same thing at the same time, it lead to what we call system stability. But then within a very short period of time, it kind of like, and then it reverses itself. So I do agree that those are the kind of situation where, if you actually have a lot of the system driven by machines, and because the systems are the systems are put together by many different players. It's like sometimes they don't really kind of diversify the rules or the parameters, so to speak. Then you're creating an inherent risk that, and this is a well-known mathematical result of complex system theory, where when everyone kind of doing the same thing, you result in sort of global system instability, which is, roughly speaking, which is what actually happened with the flash crash. The solution at the time is to basically say, hey, guess what? I mean, you put in these what they call triggers, safety triggers, to stop the orders if things are getting out of control. Which, when you think about it, right, is actually not very different from how they avoid that kind of thing. Back when the days when in Chicago you just have human traders doing the same thing. If everyone got doing certain things in a certain way, I mean, you're going to cause certain problems in the market, and they basically just will trigger certain stops, right? What the problem seems to be, at least if you ask me, is that okay, instead of automatic human traders, right? You have a computer who can do this instead of second. Now all of a sudden become milliseconds, right? So basically, what that means is the regulators also have to adopt comparable technology or compatible technology, just so that they can monitor this kind of changes. Maybe the rules doesn't necessarily need to change that much, but the monitoring technology need to be upgraded, simply because now you're talking about these things happening within milliseconds instead of you still have a 5-second rule or 10-minute rule, that kind of thing. Because God knows what will happen in 10 minutes. Right?
You may soon move to nanoseconds.
That might well be the case. I mean, I think but we are, for instance, we're actually approached by some folks asking about whether we can take our technology and turn it the other way around and use this kind of technology to detect market manipulation in a much faster way. So, I mean, there's certainly an awareness that with computers, and which can be making the same decision as what the human is doing, but now you're all of a sudden, it gets you milliseconds, or as you say, it gets to nanoseconds. Then the people who are monitoring the same thing, monitoring bills, etc., I mean, they just also need to upgrade their technology, right? And unfortunately, I think one of the problems that we often see is that the industry, especially if there's a major change going on, right? The industry tend to attract the brightest and the most talented technologies versus a lot of the regulators sometimes, regardless of how much, it may be the environment, the working environment, it may be a lot of other factors, but regardless of how much money they're willing to pay, it doesn't always be the case that they can attract the same kind of technology talent. Okay, so I mean so normally you will see some kind of gap, gap in terms of usually the private industry would do a lot better first, and then the regulator will have to play a little bit of the game of catching up. And we're kind of seeing this with even with some of the sort of social media company right now, simply because obviously their technology is a lot more advanced, and sometimes even they themselves may not be fully aware of what the other people are using with their data, and then the people are supposed to keep track of data privacy. I mean, they just don't really. I mean, they're totally playing game catching